various life processes are carried out by living beings, all the living beings, plants, animals, human beings, which are necessary to maintain and continue life are known as the life processes. Various processes or various functions of the body which are required to maintain and continue the life are known as the life processes. So what are the main life processes in human beings? Nutrition, that is food intake, respiration, breathing, transportation of substances, that is blood and other substances transportation, excretion, removal of non-useful wastes, non-useful things to the body, then movement as well as the reproduction. So all these together make up all the life processes of human beings. So how can we say an organism is alive? How can we say an organism is alive? How can we differentiate between a living and a non-living organism? So usually we see plants do not move from place to place, but still plants are alive, living beings, right? But they don't move from one place to another. And talking about viruses do not show any moment of life until they go and attack any parasite or any human being. So, but still viruses are living organisms. And suppose if any animal is sleeping, we see the abdomen will be moving. So that is how we can say that that animal is alive. So these life processes only prove us that animal is alive. Then plants, if they have green leaves and they are moving, giving us air, then we can say that plants are alive. Otherwise, the dead leaves are yellowish in color, they fall off. Those are dead leaves of the plant. So until plant is green in color and showing some type of movement with wind, we can say that plants are alive. So is this invisible movement of molecules necessary for life? Yes, scientists say that invisible molecular is very much necessary for the continuation of life. So as we all know that all of us are made up of cells. Cell is treated as the basic structural and functional unit of the body. So these cells make up to form tissues, and these tissues make up to form the organs of the body. So these cells are actually made up of molecules. So there needs to be continuous molecular movement in the body. And as we know that daily many of the cells die and they need to be replaced with the new ones. What happens if they are not replaced with the new ones? Ultimately we may die if the daily repair and new cells formation doesn't take place in day-to-day life. We may die. So in daily day-to-day life many cells die and new cells will be forming. So these cells are made up of molecules. So that is how we can say that molecular movement is necessary. The movement of the cells, the repair process, the formation of new cells, all this is necessary for the continuation of life. Daily if we scratch our skin like this, we see the whitish colored powder-like structure, right? What is that? There is nothing but the dead cells. Then if in any organ, if there is infection, you will get pus. Pus is also known as abscess. So what is the abscess made up of? Abscess is made up of dead cells. Different types of dead cells. So that is how in day-to-day life many cells keep dying and there will be a need for the formation of new cells. So this molecular movement will be always going on in day-to-day life. Even when we are sitting, when we are sleeping, this molecular movement goes on. So suppose if we are sleeping, do you think all the organs and all the organ systems, all the digestive system will sleep? No. Even when you are sitting without doing any work, even when you are sleeping, all the body processes, transportation, respiration, all these goes on. So that is the reason the maintenance is necessary. So what are life processes? The maintenance functions of the living organisms are life processes and they must go on always, because since you are sleeping and you are not doing any work, these life processes do not stop. Your heart will continuously be beating, whether you are sleeping, whether you are awake, whether you are idle or busy. Heart will be continuously beating, transportation of blood will be happening, respiration process goes on, nutrition process goes on, digestion process goes on. So whether, irrespective of what you are doing, the maintenance activity always goes on in the body. So the maintenance processes are necessary to prevent the damage and breakdown of energy. So maintenance processes are necessary to protect, damage and break down. So as the new cells, as the dead cells will be removed from the body, there is need for the formation of new cells and repair. So to prevent damage to the body and breakdown of the body, new cells need to be formed. So that is how maintenance process occur. And for all these process to go on, for the dead cells to go away whereof, and for the new cells to form, for the transportation of blood to go on, we need some energy, right? We need energy for all the life processes of the body. So how do we get this energy? We get this energy from outside of the body. We do not get energy directly inside the body. We have to take energy from the outside, from any source from the outside of the body. So this energy source which comes from the outside of the body is nothing but food. That is what we eat, and we give energy to the body. And food is the raw material which will go inside the body and further get digested with the help of enzymes and etc. So nutrition is the process of transfer of source of energy from outside of the body of organisms. So nutrition is the process of transfer source of energy from outside the body of organisms. So from outside we are taking food and giving energy to the body. That is nutrition. And how this nutrition process takes place we will see in detail later. So life depends basically on carbon based molecules. These cells, the food we eat, everything is based on carbon. Carbon is the only element which gives us energy, and mostly all the food sources are carbon based. So life depends on carbon based molecules, and so food sources are all carbon based. The rice we eat is carbohydrates, and the plants store the energy in the form of carbohydrates, that is starch. So depending on the complexity of the carbon sources, organisms use different nutrition process. Like animals can digest grass because they have some different complex digestive process, whereas we human beings cannot digest starch. So that is how, depending on the complexity of the carbon source, organisms use different nutrition process. The nutrition process in animals will be different, the nutrition process of plants will be different, and the nutrition process of human beings will also be different. Let's see in detail about the nutrition. So the energy we need for the life processes, we source the energy from outside of the body, which is known as the food or the raw material. But the sources of energy, the food we eat, is lots of variation in it because of the environment, because of the surroundings, because of the place where we live. So the food we eat is of different varieties. So that food needs to be broken down and converted into a uniform source of energy. So whatever food we eat, in whichever form, it needs to be broken down into some uniform source of energy which can be used for movement and growth of the body. So that is where the nutrition process occurs, that breakdown and all those is nutrition process. Then what happens? After the uniform source of energy is formed, a series of chemical reactions occur known as oxidizing, reducing reactions. So for this oxidizing, reducing reactions, oxygen is needed. Again, which is sourced from outside of the body. In the body we will not have readily oxygen, right? We inhale oxygen from the outside. That is where respiration process comes here. That is where respiration process comes into account. So now we have got a uniform source of energy from the food we eat. This energy, to be available to all parts of the body, then it undergoes some chemical reaction which is known as oxidizing, reducing reaction. And these reactions need oxygen which is sourced from outside of the body. There only respiration takes place. Process of acquiring oxygen from outside of the body and using it for the breakdown of food for cellular needs. So respiration helps in breaking down of the food and making the food available to all cells of the body. So that is where respiration takes place. Then after respiration what happens? Now the food has been broken down, but this food needs to be reached to all parts of the body. Here food has been broken down at one single place, but then food needs to be transported to all parts of the body. There comes transportation life process. So need for transportation of food and oxygen to all parts of the body is there. That is where transportation comes in account. So in the process of transportation, after the chemical reactions, what happened in the chemical reactions? Carbon and oxygen were used. So after the chemical reactions, the food will be transported to all parts of the body with the help of transportation life process. Then what happens? After there is transport of food to all parts of the body, there will be some byproducts left which are useless. Then these byproducts or the non-useful products are needed to be removed outside the body. That is where excretion comes into account. Through excretion, we remove all the waste products of the body or the non-useful parts. So this is how life processes occur, and they are interlinked to each other. So we will see in detail, we will study about each life process. So the first life process is nutrition. So what is the definition of nutrition? The process by which an organism, let it be a plant or an animal or a human being, takes food and utilizes for a growth and repair of the body is called nutrition. So what is the need for nutrition? Why do we take food? Organisms need energy for various activities. So as students, you need, what are your activities? Coming to the school, concentrating on the lessons, doing some physical activity. So we need energy to perform all the day-to-day activities. So for this, the energy is supplied by the nutrients in the food, in the form of food. So organisms need various raw materials for the growth and repair of the body, for the growth, repair of the dead cells, formation of new cells, day-to-day activities. For all these things, we need energy in the form of raw material. So these raw materials are provided by the nutrients, and these nutrients are sourced in food. So nutrients are materials which provide nutrition to the organism, which gives nutrition energy to the organism, are called as nutrients. So carbohydrates, proteins, fats are the main nutrients and are called macronutrients. The major food sources like chapati, rice, vegetables, all these are made up of carbohydrates, proteins and fats. These are the main nutrients and more in quantity in any food item. That is the reason they are called macronutrients. And minerals and vitamins are required in smaller amounts to the body. So minerals and vitamins are known as the micronutrients. And the nutrition is basic. The nutrition is broadly classified into two types: autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition. Heterotrophic nutrition is further classified into two types: saprotrophic and holozoic. So autotrophs are those organisms which can prepare their own food, like plants, and heterotrophs are those organisms which depend on others for their food. They do not prepare their own food. So those organisms are known as the heterotrophs. Now we will read in detail about autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition, as well as the nutrition in human beings.